In many places in the entertainment industry, there has been this question of who's the best rapper in Ghana when they compare Sarkodie and Manifest. Of course, there are many others that have been compared. There's Medical, there's Joe B, EL, and a lot of other very good rappers that have made an impact in the Ghana music industry. But when you look at the beef that went on between Sarkodie and Manifest in the past, uh, a lot of people feel that Sarkodie is the best rapper because of the types of songs he put out against the types of songs Manifest puts out during that era where this beef was going on. Now, even with that, there are still many who believe Manifest was the best rapper when it comes to the beef. But definitely, when you take certain things like the beats used and some of the punchlines that were used, it seems that the majority may go for Sarkodie. And sometimes finding out whether these are just fans or these are pure analysts is a problem because everyone has their own interest. But when we take the beef out, when we look at the whole scope of being a rapper, or let's say being a successful rapper, which of the two really would we say is on top? Now, you should first note before you go on that these two are successful rappers already. But this comparison is just to see among the two who's making more waves, who's making the right hits, who's making, the right streams, who's featuring the right artists. Now, you know that the two of them have settled their beef. They even recorded, songs after this. They've put out videos where the two of them are communicating and even talking about the songs they've done after the beef and how, there was a lot. There was a lot. I quite remember watching one of these videos where the two of them made, where they were talking about the nation, about the leaders, about the future, and about how sometimes God speaks to them in their music and all this, black activist movements and all these things about finding our heritage as black people and moving forward and doing that which is right of us as we have been called by God. Now, the two no more have any more beef, so that's a good thing. Now, let's see. Sarkodie is someone who came into the industry with a very big bang. Remember, he brought a style that was a little, we would say, different from what people expected to see, from his predecessors like, the Chiame Kwames, the Obrafos and the rest. He came with this twist flow and the rest, which many were not doing at that time. So with his tongue twisting flows, he was able to catch the attention of many. As at that time, there were only a few that were doing that and were successful with it. There was the likes of this guy named Secure. He was also a very good tongue twister. We don't know how many of you remember back in the old days or how many of you were really matured at that time, but when we say Secure, you know who we are talking about. These are even Tama rappers, so they were all with him. They were all in his category. Secure was also one of those rappers who could rap very fast and, jam like 300 words in 30 seconds. Those type of raps that they just go like, just keeps flowing and flowing. But Secure wasn't really able to last that long with his tongue twisting flows. We are not saying Secure is not relevant anymore, but from that era, it was only Sarkodie who was able to hold it. And of course, there were the likes of others who were doing it once in a while and were still, pushing. An example of one of those who's also a Tama-based rapper, who was also, tongue twisting and pushing these types of flows and metaphors and bars on and on for a period was Gemini. I'm sure Gemini will be a much familiar name to most of you. So Gemini was also in a way like Sarkodie, because apart from the fact that he was rapping with a lot of punchlines, he also had this tongue twisting speed rap flow. The only difference was that when you compare Gemini and Sarkodie, Gemini was more of the English hip hop based rapper, and Sarkodie was more like the vernacular hip hop based rapper. So they can both be put in the same box if you are not taking language as a difference. And these two have also featured many of the best musicians in Ghana. Gemini has also had some very good collaborations with other very talented music artists in the nation. So we'll come back to Sarkodie, and now let's look at Manifest. Manifest was one who came with an impact. It wasn't too much of a loud bang, but he came from a place where people were not really hearing of people. People were not really hearing of rappers, because it seemed like it was just a place for some small commercial activities, or a place for schools and stuff. When Manifest was rapping from Medina, a lot of people were pleased. Well, remember his Maka Maka hit song. He expressed freedom in his rap without being someone who is hard on what he's saying, but yet he was able to be hard by doing it so so freely. It was one of those flows where he's not forcing himself to do something or say something, and yet it is making that impact. And he was very much admired because for a very good rapper to be very well with the English and come from Medina, a lot of people were shocked. I don't know whether maybe people perceived Medina people to be those types of individuals who don't speak much English. So when Manifest was rapping from Medina, a lot of people would say, "Oh, okay," because before Manifest surfaced, most of these rappers we're hearing were Tema, and a lot of a couple of people in Accra environs, but we never heard of any strong Medina rapper. So Manifest brought a difference, and then Manifest continued to wow many with his impeccable flows, which were very good. A lot of his flows were, let's use the word US rated. You could put Manifest in the likes of Jay-Z, and he'll still do very well, or probably even outshine them. Not to say that he's going to do that. This is just a detailed analysis of Manifest type of flow, and yet Manifest was still able to do the tree also. But he was very very good with the English rap, and he would bring some bars that he will not he doesn't do it like the way a battle rapper would do it, but it's able to make that I get what you are saying impact, that deep impact. So Manifest was very good, and then as time moved on, we're seeing more and more things from Manifest, showing us how to blend English with our locality, even with his fashion, with the way he does his stuff. He was just so different. Many were seeing him as the Terry Bonchaka of our era. When I mention Terry Bonchaka, for those of you who were not back in our days, you still don't know who this is. Terry Bonchaka was not a rapper though; he was a musician. He was not mainly a rapper, but he was more of he was a singing type of artist. But of course, there was some raga in his flow. So we would say he was also in a way a dancehall artist. Now Terry Bonchaka was one of those who was made a lot of waves during the those times of Susie Williams. Susie Williams is an actress, was an actress. Those eras, and he also came out with something different that nobody had ever expected. Even with his dance moves, with the way he would turn, with the way he would do, pull his leg up and dance, and his dressing. There was just something so fantastic and funny about his dressing, but it was working. You remember his types of trousers that have a very big loop at the ends, openings at the ends, and he was just it was just very Ghanaian about him, and this was something Manifest was portraying. Not that he was copying him, but he was very much with this indigenous type of culture, and as well as incorporating it in his rap beautifully. There was nothing that looked weird about his dressing, but he was doing it and doing it well. To the point that at a time when his beef was going on with Sarkodie, Sarkodie was like, he uses or the Tomapam long sleeves, those types of Sarkodie's flow. Or the due to be a palm kaba, Sarkodie was sort of making fun of the fact that he was using these local cloths to make clothing, to make shirts and all these types of things they wear, and how it was funny on him. So, but it wasn't really funny on him. That was just Sarkodie, being a hard rapper. So we see something from these two artists. But what is strange about the two of them is that as much as their flows are different to the world, like for example the way Sarkodie has been able to sustain his vernacular, and the way Manifest has been able to keep his composure with his locality and yet speak the English, yet they are able to be consistent. Sometimes you'll not hear too many flows from Manifest, but when you hear one particular flow from Manifest or a song that someone has featured Manifest on, it's so strong that it lasts longer than all of these plenty songs that many people are releasing. So it was amazing. And then when you go to Sarkodie too, the same thing. For Sarkodie, he was releasing more often than Manifest, but he was able to keep the right features. Even when you come to the younger musicians, Sarkodie works very well with them. He doesn't care your age. He knows how to blend with you and still, do what he has to do on the track. But what was amazing about the two of them was their consistency. And even as we are speaking, they are still, keeping up their consistency game, making airwaves from different places. We see Manifest featuring artists in the USA, different places all over the world. Sometimes you see some from a California rapper and the like. So it's amazing. Sarkodie has also been doing that for a while now. Remember, Sarkodie had this very beautiful hit with Ace Hood. That song was crazy and the video was amazing as well, where Sarkodie did a lot on the track, but he did it in vernacular. He just put a little English in one or two places. So you'd see that the two have this mind and this idea of their music, and are still doing it in successful ways. When you look at other areas, like how they blend with other artists in the entertainment industry, not only restricted to rap, but as in acting and the rest, they have their ones and their twos. Even in the fashion games, remember there was a time where Sarkodie, was releasing this clothing named Sark and the like. So they have this way to represent in different areas in the entertainment industry. And so for us, they are both successful. But when you are asking on a rapper point of view, for those people who like rap a lot, punchlines, bars, metaphors, all the sick lines that those in the entertainment and the rap industry have really much been appreciating. When those people want to compare the two, let us be honest, who really is the better rapper? This time we'll not even say successful, because we've seen that they are both successful, but which of them really is the better rapper? Look at Manifest and look at Sarkodie. Look at the way they work with the beat. Look at the way they are composed on the beat. And also look at the way they flow and they deliver. Do they still get the message across? Which of the two of them can have a line that many people will be repeating over and over again? Which of the two of them can spit a sort of a rap that people in high places would continue to be repeating those lines even in their sectors, whether it's the agriculture sector, whether it's in parliament, whatever? Which of the two of them is really making this type of impact? We'll leave the response to you. We'll leave the answers to you. Who's the better rapper, Sarkodie or Manifest? Let us know in the comment section below. Thank you very much for listening, and have a very, very nice day.